there is a comedian called Aj Barker. He's American and he's been to New Zealand quite a few times. Great comedian. We've always enjoyed his shows. He was doing a gig last weekend, part of the Melbourne International Comedy Festival. In the middle of his hour-long gig, Aj made the decision to eject a woman who had brought her 7-month-old baby to the gig. I will point out that his show is 15 years plus. She thought at first he was kidding, but he asked her to go again, and she did. And some others in the audience, maybe half a dozen, left with her in solidarity. She told reporters later that she was also breastfeeding her baby at the time when she was asked to leave. Now, Aj has come out and said that he has nothing against mums or breastfeeding in public, although he didn't even see. He said with the lights he could not see she was doing that. But his show has timings, it has pauses, and the baby was distracting. And he felt that the 700-odd people that had paid good money to see him, he owed it to them not to be distracted by the baby. And again, the baby was not crying at this stage. Might have when it left. But he said it was gurgling, making noises like babies do. Blah, 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 blah. Now, he was back on stage over the weekend. Here's a bit from the show.
This whole thing's been a little intense, like I said, but it's going pretty good, although in this area over here, I could hear someone's stomach rumbling. And so I just want you to know this is your last warning. And say it's about 12 seats back, and on that side, it's gentlemen, mid-30s. When you inhale, there's a slight whistling with your nose. Get the fuck out.
All right, that's Aj Barker this weekend, back on stage and making a little bit of a joke about what had happened. So, do you take a baby to a comedy gig? One of New Zealand's best comedians is a man called Jared Fell. I'm sure you've seen him before. Magician, comedian. He's with me now. Jared, g'day, buddy.
Hey, mate. How you going?
I'm going well. Now, firstly, do you know Aj? You'd know Aj, wouldn't you?
I know Aj. I've worked with Aj. But can I just say that I'm doing this interview with a baby on me? Can I just mention that? The irony.
and look, Jared, this is why I wanted to talk to you because, I mean, you are a recent daddy. Again, this is baby number 2. And
I can't take any credit. It's all Ash. I can't take any credit.
It's all your beautiful lady. I get it. I know. Of course, it's nothing to do with you.
No.
But your first beautiful baby, she is now two.
No, she's about 1.5.
1.5. Now, I've been recently at a gig of yours, and your baby that's sitting on your lap at the moment wasn't in the world then, but was nearly there. Yeah. But you had your first baby there, and you kind of made her part of the show when she Googled and Guard and went, there's daddy and stuff like that. But what is your real feeling about babies? And your show, Jared, is quite R-rated. I mean, what's the rating on your show?
It's definitely R18. Yeah, R18 normally. But look, that's fine because that was my baby, you know? Like, I had control. My mum was there. She had control of baby. It was fine. But no, if at the end of the day, if the show's rated, that's the rating. And I'm aware that most comedy festivals do allow the mums to take babies to a show. But what the thing is, they're normally seated near the back or to an aisle, where if baby does kick up a fuss or mum is feeling a bit stressed, they can just nip out quietly and easily. I think the problem here with Aj was it was the ushers' fault because they put a mum in the second row of the show. So any sound that was putting Aj off, you know, I think that's a venue issue. That's not an Aj issue. And it's definitely nothing against breastfeeding mothers. You know, like you can't see anything when you're on that stage.
No, because you played that stage as well, so you know what he's talking about.
You can.
Yeah. So that's interesting. So you have, because you're agreed. Because to me, babies should not be at these gigs. Like, you know, they're they're loud, they're rude. Not that the kid knows what swearing is, but and there are pauses for effect when you guys are telling your stories and your jokes. And if there's a noise that puts you off, it can throw your stride. That's what I would think is the problem. Yeah. But
yeah, at the end of the day, it's a heckle,
It's a heckle.
No, it's an unwanted heckle.
Yeah, a baby heckle. Because you know what I was just thinking? I thought when I was saying that, mind you get drunk people heckling, but it is different because you can lay into them and they will stop eventually. Yeah. But a baby is not going to stop crying or is not going to stop fussing. No. Yeah. So you're even though you've got babies, you'd say there's no real place for them at these kind of live venues.
No, and especially if it's a rated show. Like there are comedians out there and festivals that put on child-friendly shows, and those are the shows that I feel that kids should be taken to, whether it's a baby or if it's a toddler. It definitely should be to that kids' comedy style. No, you can hear my little baby. He's heckling. He's heckling with a little cough, isn't he? Isn't that cute? I actually just borrowed this baby from a neighbour. It's not even mine.
Oh, yeah, sure. Absolutely. Yeah, just to prove a point, Jared. Hey.
Yeah. On radio when no one can see. Yeah, classic.
Knocked it out of the park. Jared, for our listeners, and I believe that people know who you are, but what's been happening with you? I mean, I know you've been in Australia quite a bit, doing gigs over there. Where are you at the moment?
Oh, mate, I'm pretty much just counting down until July. I'm back out working on across all Princess Cruises and all that jazz for the best half of this year. So currently just doing a few pub gigs around the show and being here with the family, which is absolutely amazing because obviously you know how much I'm away. I'm really cherishing these couple of months at home and helping out Mama,
Nice.
So, yeah, just getting ready before being away for like 5 months.
Oh, yeah, golly. Do you enjoy the pub gigs? Because I know you've played... you've played huge venues. You've done Vegas residency. You've done LA. Is it to pop back into a small pub? Is it good, or do you think, why am I wasting my time?
It is lovely because it's kind of like your grassroots. It's where you started working pubs, having drunk people yell stuff out at you to help your self-esteem.
Get on with it. Heard it. Yeah.
Yeah. And for me, like because I don't work at the comedy clubs in New Zealand anymore, and so I treat every gig as a time where I can actually try out my new material before taking it out on the boats or into bigger theatres across Australia or whatnot. So pubs for me is kind of, I get to experiment, I get to go have fun, I get to go rant about family life, and just let it all out. And hopefully no one brings a bloody baby.
No. Hey, what? Go on, tell me. Having said that,
I had a gig at the Bear Spot in Whangaparoa the other night, and my partner wanted to come along, so we put both kids, right? So a 17-month-old, and a 6-week-old, and a double pram, and we've got one of those skinny prams. We're not the side-by-side, we're not obnoxious. We've got those skinny ones that they go on top of each other, and it was so neat to have my babies just there watching. My little toddler was waving and she was clapping, and Mum was stressed. It was great. It was a great experience.
Mum was stressed. So. Did you get you didn't get any feeling that anyone was like, why is a baby here? Why are there babies here?
No, I made it very clear that they were mine. Yep. But if they were to kick off a stink, then we would auction them off. So it was fine, It was a nice audience.
Oh,
they were
nice.
Lovely. But if you're the difference between that and then sitting in a theatre where you're paying $70 to $100 a ticket, I think ours was definitely thinking about the other people there. Which is, why aren't people thanking them? Rather than having a go at them.